What's going on, guys? My name is Chris, otherwise known as Two Wheel Addict around here, and you want to buy a motorcycle. Well, you came to the right channel. Okay, so motorcycle buying 101. Motorcycles are not like cars. We have different things we're going to be looking at, checking out, looking for, listening for. Okay, first things first. This is my second bike. Okay, I bought two motorcycles in my life so far. Uh, both of the bikes I have bought had nothing wrong with them except a couple little issues that I knew about and did fix myself. And we're gonna go over some of the tips, what you're looking for when you buy a bike. Some dead giveaway signs. First things first, when you go buy a used bike, the first thing you're gonna do that matters the most is you're gonna check your frame. Okay, you're going to be checking your metal frame. This is your triple tree right here. You're going to be looking all around your triple tree. You're going to be looking down there where your frame's at, and you're going to visually inspect every square inch of this frame. All right, we're looking for cracks. JB weld. This right here is a professional weld. You can clearly see that. Okay, we're looking for cracks in your frame and signs of repairs to cracks on that frame. That's the first thing. This is so important, dude, because a motorcycle with a cracked frame is essentially a rolling coffin. This is so crucial, dude. If you find a bike with a cracked frame, get the hell out right away. You're checking both sides, not just your control side, but your brake side as well. Okay, the left side of a motorcycle is where your clutch is at and your gears are at. These are your controls for your motorcycle. The right side with your right handlebar, that lever is your brake, and down there on your foot on the right side is your brake. So your left side is your controls, your right side are your brakes. You're going to be inspecting both sides of this frame as thoroughly as you can, dude. This is your life on the line here, okay? So, first things first is the frame checks out. It's all good. It looks good. I'm going to be coming down here. I'm going to be checking chain. I'm going to be looking at tension. We're going to be looking at how much movement you have on your chain. About 2 fingers is what you're looking for down here, okay? You should be coming up about 2 fingers worth. It's kind of hard to get the angle right, but 2 fingers worth. Your back tire determines your settings down here on your rear determine your chain tension. Too much tension, you're at risk of your chain snapping, and people have lost legs with chains that have snapped. Um, the rear chain can get stuck in the rear wheel and lock it up. If that rear wheel locks up at 100 miles an hour, it's locking up, you're sliding, you're going to have a fuck day. You're going to be in a lot of pain. Okay, so the frame checks out, the chain checks out, the tension wise is good. We're going to be looking at plastics first off. Plastics don't really mean shit in the long run, but they're a telltale sign right away if something's going on with this bike. I'm going to be looking for scratches on plastics. Obviously, I put new ones, so I don't have any scratches yet. But scratches will indicate a drop. Okay, that's a big no-no for bikes. If they've been dropped, that's going to depreciate the bike like a shitload. Okay, like seriously. Because you don't know how fast they were going. They're probably going to lie. A lot of people will say it was a low speed drop or they dropped it in the garage. Covers are next. You've got metal covers, on the sides of your bike. Are the covers scratched? You can see mine. This was dropped, man. This fucking bike was dropped, and this thing slid. You can see where it slid. You can see that. So this was dropped. That right there, I'm already starting to knock money off. Dude, this bike's been dropped. I don't know if it has anything, mechanically wrong in there. Fairing color. How good is the paint matched on the fairings all around? Did they crash it, try to repaint it themselves? Can you see scratches under the paint? Underneath here, are there scratches underneath that have been painted over? Okay. A drop is a big no-no for bikes. It does happen. I've crashed twice in my life, so it happens. So next, I'm gonna be looking underneath the fairings. Like I said, fairings really ain't shit. They're just pretty little pieces for the outside. How clean is that motor, yo? How clean and well taken care of is the motor inside? Because that's what's gonna save your ass out there on the road. You know. How are your metal parts of your motor? Are they clean, good shape? What do they look like? Just like a car, if you go to buy a used car and someone's got some fucked up, dirty ass car under the hood and inside, they probably didn't take care of it. They probably didn't care enough about it, you know? All right, so frame's good, chain's good, fairings, they don't look too fucked up. You're probably gonna run into some with some scratches. Motor covers are probably in good shape. If not, they have some scratches. Like I said, that's bargaining point. Um, Another thing you're gonna want to look at that I'm not sure if a lot of people know about this or not, but you're gonna look inside the gas tank, dude. You're gonna be looking down there for rust, decolorization, you know, indicators that there might be debris inside of here that might wind up clogging up a fuel line, might clog up injectors, set you up for a bad day, because where's that fuel going out to those injectors, dude? Right into the head. So I'd be checking the gas tank, obviously, bikes that sat a while tend to, get gumpy fucking gas because it's dirty. I'm gonna sit on the bike. How does it feel? A quick thing that I can show you that I do have on my bike that's bad is your forks. Okay, you got fork seals where the top half of your fork slides into your lower. Other bikes they're flipped. And a sign that you have a busted fork seal is oil that runs down the side of your bike. I'm going to show you a quick example. You can do this anywhere along the bottom half because if you have it, it will be the entire length. You're just going to stick your finger anywhere behind the shock, the fork, push up against it, and pull your finger back. That's a busted fork seal, okay? That's money off, dude. This is depreciating the value of the bike. You're compromising your suspension here. So I'm knocking money off for this, man. Like I said, it could be anywhere on the bike. Just put your finger behind the shock, right here, not on the front. The front's not gonna give you shit except dead bugs. Get it on the back, push up against it, yank. There's fork seal oil, dude. Now my right side does not have that. My right side fork seal is good. However, when you go to replace a busted fork seal on this side, you do the other one at the same time. All right, so the cost of replacing two fork seals is what I'm taking off the price. I've got a scratch cover. That's an indicator that this was dropped. I'm taking more off the price. I have another cover on the other side that's a little scraped up. It's not bad. So I'm taking, I'm taking the cost off the vehicle as a whole. Next thing are tires here. Street bike tires have little knobs inside of the tread here that let you know when it's time to change your tire. This one's probably got about 50% left. You can see the shadow on the side of it where it comes down. So I'm not in bad shape as far as these go. They're not far from needing it, but they're good. All right, we're going to take a look at the rear as well really quick so I can show you what that looks like. There's one right there. So the tires have little knobbies inside of the treads, that let you know when it's time to change. You can tell I've got some pretty good tread left. So that's how you're going to be able to judge, hey, does this bike need tires? Usually on a car, especially living in a bigger city, you can take your car down and get tires put on the front. Just say 2 front tires for $50 each installed. No hassle, you're done. Bikes are a little bit different, dude. You're going to have to first find a supplier for your bike tires, most likely off the internet after you do your research. Also, the cost of putting this rear tire on, this is an aftermarket tire that did not come with my bike. I bought this online. This is a Hyper Sport tire. It's half street, half track. It was $100, dude, to have them put this tire on my bike. I don't remember how much it was for the front, probably close to it. So, if both of these tires are bad, I'm already knocking off another $300 and probably closer to $500, dude. Honestly, $300 or $400 is probably you cutting them a deal on knocking money off. So if you've got bad tires on the front and rear that are going to need to be changed soon, there's $400, dude. You got fork seals on both sides. That's probably another $200. Now you're already knocking them down $600. Has the bike been dropped? I'm knocking more off for that, dude. You're depreciating the value of this fine machine. So those are just some quick things to look for, some bargaining tools. Usually when you go buy a street bike, it is cash in hand, and you're giving me the cash before you're taking my bike out for a ride. If you decide to jet or take off, I ain't gonna be able to catch you. B, if you take my bike around the corner and you loop it and you wreck it, it's gone, dude. I'm keeping your money and you're keeping that bike that you just fucked up. So keep that in mind. Um, let's see. When you're riding the bike, you're gonna be getting it up to temperature. Uh, how does it feel? Can It might be a little daunting as a newer rider because I was once there, dude. I'm in the same spot you guys would be in, buying another bike or your first bike. You need to release your hands from the handlebars. Slowly, don't just hold on to your bike and just let go like this. No, both hands at the same time. Just kind of give your wrist a little bit of play here, and just kind of let go. The bike needs to ride straight when you're doing that. Okay. Um, you're feeling and hearing out for knocks, ticks. You want a cold start. Excuse me. When you go buy a street bike, you need to tell the guy the day before you come there, hey, I want a cold start. When you do that, the temperature on the bike should say low. Okay? A lot of problems with street bikes when you go to buy them go away. They go away after they've been worn. You see, I'm at 138 right now. That's not good for someone trying to buy a bike. It should say low, which is low, low temp, which, it's the bike's way of telling you, don't ride me yet. I'm not warmed up. Okay. You want a cold start. That's going to be really important here. When you're riding it, you're going to be paying attention to how you shift with your shifter. Are you sliding, in and out of gears easily, smoothly? Is the clutch tight, firm? Has it got a good pullback on it? Um, I don't know. That's just some basics right there. I can probably wind up doing a part two later on. This is all off the top of my head right now, just things that you should be aware for and look out for. Um, I had to invest a lot of time. I also had buddies that were in the bikes at the time, so I learned a lot of things to look for from them. Of course, brakes. You're gonna be checking your rotor, the wear on your rotor, how much life do they have left in them, what do your pads look like in the front as well as the rear. Obviously, no leaking fluids. Um, with only two wheels, and your rear wheel being the one that's going to be keeping your ass upright in a turn when you're leaning over, hitting a turn. If you have oil leaking and that gets on your wheel, like you're toast, dude. Your rear is going to slide out. You're going to crash and fuck up your bike and yourself, not to mention. Um, I think that's going to be it for now, guys. Like I said, I can probably get a part two up in a day or two. Teeth on your sprocket. Oh, you can't even see those fuckers. Teeth, they should be rounded and not pointy and sharp. Okay. If you see counting this top one here, the one that's shiny, that's still in the chain, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 down. If you look at that fourth one, which is right here, keep your eye on that one, okay? That one's nice and rounded. You don't want spiky ass teeth on your sprockets. You want rounded, okay? Um, I would be asking a lot of questions if I were you. When's the last time you changed oil? When's the last time you did your coolant? When's the last time you lubed your chain? That's a really important one. Every 2 tanks of gas, you should be lubing your chain to keep your O-rings dry. When's the last time you changed your brake fluid? When's the last time that this thing had like the plugs done, the air filter? Because as a bike guy, like if you're really taking care of your shit, you know, it's been about 3 months since I've changed the coolant in the bike. I just did my brake fluid, last weekend. As you can tell, this caliper is clean as shit. Like I took off my calipers and cleaned them up really nice. All right, so that's when I did that. Oil was about a month ago. Chain lube was my last tank, which was less than a week ago that I lubed it. So as a bike guy, you should know this kind of shit. If they stumble or it takes them a while to come up with their answer, then they're bullshitting you. How long have they had that bike? Have they dropped it? Did the guy before them drop it? If I see a bike like this that's elevated up on stands, that's a good sign. Even just the rear, because that shows that they care about their bike and they're taking care of it. Dude, you actually invested money to keep your bike off the ground. kind of to store it properly. So that's gonna be it, guys. Like I said, I'll come up with a part 2 later on. Miles of the bike, real quick. Shit. Um, 30,000 on a bike is pretty damn near the equivalent of 100,000 on a car. Okay. I can't find my key, but like I said, 30,000 on a bike is close to 100,000 on a car. Can you double that? Sure, but you just need to take care of the shit. It got 26,000, so my bike is pretty close to 30, which is the equivalent of 100,000 on a car. So if you can get it lower than that, that's better. Um, Obviously, higher mileage is gonna depreciate the bike a little bit more. Frame sliders. Did these guys care enough about their bike to where if they're gonna drop it, it's gonna be protected? Same thing with the bars. We have these things called bar ends. This will save your handlebar from getting fucked up in a crash. This will save your plastics and your metal here in a crash. When I got my bike, it didn't have these, so that's why the guy before me wound up with a fucked up cover here. He laid it down, man. This will take the full impact of it. This will save your ass. So yeah, I would just start asking some of these questions. Hell, if you gotta take a notepad and write them down, don't be afraid to do it, dude. Like it just shows that you care about your shit and you're coming educated. You're not just some fool gonna rush in and just throw a lot of cash at some fool and take off on his bike. Another pretty important thing too is gear, man. Gear is not cheap, but at the base minimum, you're gonna need a jacket, a helmet, and gloves. At the minimum, I say minimum because I've gone down. You can see my fucked up skin, dude. Like, there's my white ass arm, and there's my fucked up scarred arm. All right, I went down without a jacket, and I fucked it up. So jacket, what we're looking for is protection on the inside, dude. Okay, this is for your back. I've got shoulder protection and forearm protection. All right. Helmet and gloves, they're gonna come in different prices, and they're gonna have different options on them. All right. Hold on, give me a second here. My wife just got home, so I have to move the bike out of the way. Gloves, you're gonna want leather gloves. Some of them come in good styles. You get what you pay for. If you pay 20 or 30 bucks for gloves, they'll do the job, but your protection is gonna be sacrificed. Helmet is another one. Don't skimp on the helmet, please. A $60 helmet is not gonna save you as much as a $250, $300 helmet. All right. You need to invest in gear. This shit's gonna save your life one day. And if you do go down, you want to know, like, hey, I'm probably gonna be okay. Like, I got a good ass helmet. I got a nice jacket. So that's a couple things to look for when buying a bike, when buying gear. Like I said, I'll come out with a part 2 eventually. Take notes if you have to. Go online. Go do your own research. What you're gonna need to look for and do for yourself. Y'all have a good one. I'll try and get part 2 up as soon as I can. Later.